The 1950s and 60s had a high rate of what do you call thriller or paranormal shows. Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, a myriad of what do you call playhouse style one act and two act plays. But Alcoa Presents One Step Beyond was beyond and beyond. It was an American anthology series created by Merwin Gerard. The original series was broadcast for 3 seasons on ABC from January 59 to July 61. Now created by Merwin Gerard and produced by Collier Young, it was hosted by John Newland, your guide to the supernatural, also credited as our guide into the world of the unknown. Newland, who also directed every episode, presented tales that explored paranormal events and various situations that defied logical explanation. One Step Beyond purported only to tell stories based on the human record, which were, of course, documented historical events. Now, for 97 episodes, and unlike other anthology programs, the ABC Network series episodes were presented in the form of straightforward 30-minute docudramas, all said to be based on human record, implying historically factual events. However, the depicted events were closer to popular urban legends dramatized for the screen. The program included the corporate name of sponsor Alcoa in its title in its initial run. In syndication, the program title became simply One Step Beyond, and like what they call the shattered frontispiece, one in the bottom stepped and beyond the top. Among his varied tales, One Step Beyond dealt with the premonition of death and disaster, the existence of ghosts, and wildly improbable coincidence. Paula Raymond appeared in the third episode of the first season, initially broadcast on February 3rd, 59, in the episode titled Emergency Only, which also featured Jocelyn Brando as a screaming fortune teller at a party. Joan Fontaine and get this, Warren Beatty play husband and wife in the episode The Visitor. Now, kind of a controversial episode we're going to talk about a little bit here was a 1961 January episode, The Sacred Mushroom. It also deals with the discovery of mind-altering drugs. Newland traveled to Mexico where he met with a local shaman who was an intimate in ritual use of magic mushrooms. The then unknown mushrooms were purportedly able to increase the user's psychic powers. Newland ingested several mushrooms and allowed his reaction to be filmed for broadcast. This was the only episode of the entire series to have a relatively reality-based documentary tone, rather than the scripted docudramas that comprise all other episodes. Although the subject matter, the enhancement of psychic powers, accorded with the rest of the series, this episode was somewhat controversial. It was omitted from syndication. Has been seen since, only rarely since the original broadcast. However, according to Newland, it was the most popular episode of the series. A complete transcript of this episode is reproduced in Chapter 7 of The Sacred Mushrooms of Mexico by Brian Akers. A must read, I must say. A lot of my friends have taken magic mushrooms, and boys, they were one step beyond for sure. Now, the show used a large number of writers. Larry Marcus was the most prolific contributor, with over 30 episodes to his credit. Marcus would later win an Emmy for his work on Route 66 and receive an Oscar nomination for his screenplay for the classic The Stuntman. Other relatively frequent contributors include show creator Merwin Gerard, Don Mankiewicz, who would later write for Star Trek, Gabriel Upton, who also wrote for a wide range of anthology shows, including the Alfred Hitchcock Hour, and he was later head writer of The Guiding Light. And later head writer of The Guiding Light. And Howard Rodman, later story editor of Route 66 and creator of the David Janssen hit Harry O. Now, Charles Beaumont wrote 2 episodes of One Step Beyond just before jumping over to the TZ, to which he was a major contributor. Francis Cockrell also wrote 2 episodes. He was also a frequent writer at Alfred Hitchcock Presents and will later contribute to the second season of Outer Limits. Second season of the first series, not the Canadian version. Now, a wide range of actors of various B and A level productions appeared in the show. Now, Warren Beatty and Joan Fontaine, again, were played together in The Visitor. Robert Blake and Gypsy, Charles Bronson in The Last Round, Paul Carr in Reunion, the great Veronica Cartwright in The Haunting, Louise Fletcher in The Open Window, Ron Howard in The Haunting, Werner Klemper of Hogan's Heroes fame of The Haunted U-Boat, Robert Lansing as the voice, Wesley Lau, The Haunted U-Boat, Cloris Leachman and Marcel Delio together in The Dark Room, Christopher Lee in The Sorcerer, Robert Logie in The Hand, Jack Lord and Father Image, Patrick McNee, The Night of April 14th, John Marley, Oscar-nominated actor, Night of the Kill, Ross Martin, Always Great, Echo, Patty McCormick in Make Me Not a Witch, Yvette Mimieux in The Clown, Elizabeth Montgomery, The Death Waltz, Donald Pleasance in The Confession, Suzanne Plachette in Delusion, Albert Salmi, The Peter Herka Story, Part 1 and 2, William Shatner in The Promise, and Peter Wingard in Nightmare. Now, the last 13 episodes of the third season were filmed at MGM Studios, Boreham Wood, England, due to a suggestion by Newland. According to Newland, I thought it would be given a little boost to the show because Great Britain offered good actors, good situations, good settings. We sought permission from Alcoa, and he okayed it. Now, Harry Lubin composed the music for the series with a soundtrack album, Music from One Step Beyond, released by Decca in 1960. The most well-known tracks of the series were entitled Weird, originally composed by Lubin for the score of an April 55 Loretta Young episode, Feeling No Pain, usually played when the supernatural aspect of the episode was being discussed, and Fear, that became the musical theme of the series. Now, The Ventures included a cover version of the show's main theme, Music Fear, in their highly acclaimed 64 record album, The Ventures in Space. The second season, The Outer Limits, also used a variation of Fear for the end titles. A heavy metal cover of the title song was recorded by the band Fantomas on their album The Director's Cut in 2001. Now, by the time the series hit almost 100 episodes, syndication was calling. After its cancellation in 1961, the series continued to be shown throughout the States in off-network syndication until the early 80s. For its re-release to television for the Sci-Fi Channel during the 1990s, the initial and end titles were given new theme music and graphics designed for the time, as if the show had continued in the 1990s. These episodes were also edited for time from 26 to 22 minutes. Now, despite the public domain status for most episodes, the series remaining copyrights belong to distributor CBS TV. CTD is the successor to the series' previous distributors, which include ABC Film successor World Vision Enterprises and CTD's predecessor Paramount Domestic Television. Now, episodes are currently broadcast by the Retro TV network, available as a digital subchannel to some U.S. markets. Full episodes are also available for digital streaming on Amazon Prime, FMC Movie Classics, Tubi, and Amazing Classics. In May 2021, the UK Nostalgia Channel, Talking Pictures TV, began to broadcast the series, with the first episode airing on May 11th. Now, during 2007, Mill Creek Entertainment released a 4-disc Region 1 DVD set entitled The Very Best of One Step Beyond. The set contains 50 episodes. The quality varied from episode to episode because of the kinescope style. On September 15, 2009, CBS Home Entertainment, distributed by Paramount, released One Step Beyond, the official first season on Region 1. Now, One Step Beyond is the first pre-1973 in-house production of ABC to get a DVD release from CBS Paramount. Other shows once distributed by ABC Films, which became World Vision, were either released by CBS Paramount because the company owns the libraries of the actual producers of the show, such as The Fugitive and The Mod Squad, or were released by different companies because ancillary rights are owned by other entities, such as George of the Jungle. Now, the Film Chest Media Group released the series in a 6-disc collector's box in 2015. The box, unfortunately, features only 70 episodes of the series. However, mostly episodes from the first 2 seasons. Very few of the third season episodes are on the set. Now, Delta Entertainment Corporation in 2005 released a collection of 33 presumably public domain episodes on E8 region-free DVDs. Now, during 1978, the series was revived partly by Jared and Young, with John Newland hosting and directing most of the episodes. The new series was named The Next Step Beyond. It was broadcast for 1 year with 25 episodes, 15 which were remakes of the One Step Beyond series. Now, it was hosted by Newland. Like One Step Beyond, the series purported to tell true stories of the supernatural, and unlike the original, again, an only short run. Now, inspired by the syndicated success of original series as well as TZ, Star Trek, and especially Space 1999, Newland and Collier Young were participating in the original series, and Alan J. Factor decided to produce a new version of OSB to be titled The New Step Beyond for syndication. Original series creator Merwin Gerard came back as story editor. Newland returned as a series host, sporting white hair and large eyeglasses, otherwise looking the same. Now, World Vision, distributor of the original series, distributed a new set as well. Without the benefit of a sponsor like Alcoa, the series only had a budget of $92,000 an episode, which will put it in the Canadian sci-fi range. There was also several drawbacks. The series was shot in videotape and lacked the noirish look of the original. Now, several episodes of the original series were remade. All of the remakes were based on Merwin Gerard's originals. The budget limit also limited the series' ability to present stories in other times because of the lack of period costumes and settings, which had been lavish in One Step Beyond. The budget also meant the series could not afford any big-name guest stars. The series was cancelled after 25 eps were produced. After running a few cycles on television, the series disappeared and has not been seen since. Now, according to Newland, the remakes were a bad idea. We thought we could fool the audience. We soon learned we couldn't. Now, original air date was January 5th, 78. Again, most of them were pretty well remixed. Now, episode titles included Tsunami, The Return of Carrie DeWitt, Possess, The Love Connection, Ondine's Curse, Dream of Disaster, Ghost Town, Drums at Midnight, Portrait of the Mind, Other Voices, A Matter of Pride, Ghosts of Cellblock 2, The Legacy, Crybaby, Greed, Out of Body, Key to Yesterday, Woman in the Mirror, The Haunted Inn, The Pact, Cinema Mission, Thunderbolt, The Confession, Trance of Death, and The Fight of Ghosts. Now, producers included Alan J. Factor, Collier Young, and Michael L. Gamison. Editors were Phil Tucker, Bernard Gribble, and Douglas M. Stewart Jr. 30 Minutes, Factor Newland Productions, and again, 25 episodes, created, directed, and starring John Newland, with new music by Mark Snow. Now, One Step Beyond was very rarely shown actually in Canada because everybody was pretty well heavy into Alfred Hitchcock Presents, later Night Gallery, Outer Limits, the first series, Twilight Zone. And for what it is, like I said, late night filler between 12:30 and 2 o'clock. If you couldn't afford Twilight Zone or Alfred Hitchcock in syndication, you could show this. And again, people like to have a little bit of, late night horror with their, post weekend party thing because you have to stay awake to stay awake. That's how it works. But, some of these episodes were really, really chilling, and the first series they have, those key actors were tremendous. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the story of One Step Beyond. If you like what we're doing with our fantasy syndicated historic podcasts on great TV shows, let us know. But the theme music did stay in a lot of people's minds. I don't want to hum it here because it'd be an earworm for the rest of the day. Thanks for listening. Bye.